Have you ever noticed how some people just seem to win at life without forcing it? Like success just follows them? Meanwhile, others, maybe even you, are grinding harder than ever, but for some reason not seeing the results to match. You've read the books, listened to the podcasts, maybe even spent thousands on coaching and courses. So why hasn't it clicked yet? Well, what if the reason isn't that you need more information, but that you're trapped in a structure that can only keep you stuck? In this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 super powerful secrets that most people never discover, used very quietly by top creators, entrepreneurs, and high performers worldwide. These are the exact principles I teach inside my program to help clients unlock their superconscious genius, break free from resistance, and finally become the creator of their own life. So if you're tired of working against yourself and ready to live in alignment with your true power, let's dive in. The first step of natural success is understanding the function of consciousness. What do I mean by that? Well, let's start with the hard truth. Your conscious mind isn't actually in charge. Yes, it might feel like you're thinking your way to success, but that's not really how it works. Your conscious mind is meant to choose what you want, but not create it. The real power comes from your superconscious, the part of you that's connected to something bigger, wiser, more creative. But most people have been trained to rely on logic, to chase purely strategies, to overthink everything. They treat life like a problem to solve instead of a masterpiece to reveal. And they end up stuck, not because they are lazy, but because they are in a structure that simply cannot win. It's like using a GPS, but following an outdated paper map that doesn't match where you are. And the worst part is, that map is not even yours. It was drawn by your parents, school, society, coaches who meant well but never learned how creation actually works. They told you to find the rules and follow them, to copy what worked for others, to trust formulas more than yourself. Now, there is something to be said about this idea that success leaves clues. However, every time you did that, you told your own system, someone else has the power, not me. But you do have the power. You always have. However, when you use only your conscious mind, it's like steering a ship by leaning on the rudder while the real engine sits idle. See, you don't need to copy anyone else's path. You need to connect to your own. That's where everything shifts. When you choose a true end result, something you love, not just something to fix a problem with, your superconscious starts organizing your world around it. That's what I help clients do first. Make a real choice, drop the old maps, and finally start creating instead of coping. The second secret of natural success is hearing what your unconscious is saying. Let's talk about the part of your mind that's actually running the show, the unconscious. It's making about 90 to 95% of your decisions without asking for your permission, which means it doesn't matter what you say you want. If your unconscious mind has a different agenda, it will win every time. That's why sometimes you can feel like you are two people. One part is fired up, full of ideas and ambition. The other quietly drags you back into old patterns like dead weight tied to your ankle. You might set goals, visualize success, or even make a vision board. But deep down, if there's a belief like, I am not capable, or if I succeed, people won't like me, you will start hesitating, procrastinating, attracting distractions, problems, or drama that slows you down. It's not sabotage, it's structure, a tug of war inside your system where your unconscious is pulling harder than your willpower can push. Most people try to power through it. More hustle, more discipline, more motivational speeches. But that's a battle you can't win long term, because the unconscious always finds a way to get its way. So what actually works? Well, you don't want to fight the unconscious, you want to listen to it. Not to obey it, but to understand it. In my coaching, we use a process called a recode, where we bring unconscious beliefs into the light and then shift them at the root. Not with affirmations, not by thinking positive, but by changing the internal structure that's driving the behavior in the first place. And no, this isn't about fixing you. You are not broken. You never were. This is about getting your conscious and unconscious to agree on what you want. So you stop fighting yourself and start flowing forward with power and precision. Because when your whole system is aligned, you don't need to force results. You become the type of person who creates them. The third step of natural success is preparing the fertile ground for your genius to emerge. See, you already have a creative genius within you. It's not something you have to build, it's already there. But it can't express itself when you're overloaded, distracted, and constantly reacting to life. Your superconscious is always offering insight. It speaks through intuition, clarity, and inner knowing. But it doesn't compete for your attention, it waits for space. If your life feels mentally cluttered, emotionally chaotic, or packed with endless to-do lists, you are likely cutting yourself off from the very intelligence that could guide you forwards. This step is about creating space. Space to reflect, space to receive, and space to allow your genius to rise up. Most people are addicted to adding. More content, more planning, more noise. They think the solution is somewhere out there. But real breakthroughs happen when you remove what's not aligned. You don't need more stimulation, you need more clarity. And clarity comes when you remove the interference. That's why feminine action plays such a key role in this work. It's not about doing nothing. It's about creating intentional stillness so you can hear what's truly yours. This could look like blocking 30 minutes a day for quiet reflection, or turning off notifications, letting go of energy-draining conversations, even simplifying your physical space. Ask yourself, where am I stretched too thin? What's consuming my attention without delivering real value? What would it look like to create space for guidance to come through? Your genius doesn't need to be forced, it needs to be welcomed. And when your environment supports it, your superconscious responds. Not with pressure, but with precision. That's when new ideas, unexpected clarity, and aligned action begin to flow. The fourth step of natural success is following through. Now, this is where most people fall short, even the ones who've done all the inner work. They get a flash of inspiration, a breakthrough moment, a clear nudge from their superconscious, but then they hesitate. They overthink. They wait for permission, clarity, or the right time. And in that pause, the moment slips away. The energy behind the idea dissolves, and they are left wondering what happened. See, inspiration isn't just an idea, it's a call to act. And if you don't act on it, it moves on. Because inspiration is alive, it's dynamic. It seeks out those who are willing to follow through. Ever had that moment where you think of a brilliant idea, maybe it's a business, a project, or a piece of content, and then someone else brings it to life a couple days later? Yeah, that's not coincidence, that's inspiration in action. You were in the right place to receive it, but it's only truly yours if you respond. Following through is what locks in your choice. It tells your entire system, conscious, unconscious, and superconscious, yeah, this is real, we are doing this. The most successful creators aren't the ones with perfect plans. They are the ones who move when the energy is fresh. They take the first step and then the next, even when they are unsure, even when it's messy. Inside my coaching, clients practice this weekly. They choose a true end result, receive guidance from the superconscious, and then act on it immediately. No overthinking, no overplanning, just aligned action. Because the longer you delay, the harder it gets. Momentum fades and doubt creeps in. And the door that was wide open quietly closes. So the next time you feel that pull, that nudge, that creative spark, don't wait. Don't analyze it to death, just move. That's how you become the kind of person who actually brings things to life. The fifth and final step of natural success is using the emotion of the end results. Let's end with the piece that most people misunderstand. And it's the difference between chasing what you want versus creating it. Most people think they will feel confident once they succeed. They will feel secure once the money lands. They will feel free once everything's figured out. But the real creators, they do the opposite. They feel it first, and that's what makes it show up. This isn't about wishful thinking or visualizing it harder. It's structure. When you feel the emotion of already having your end result, you align every level of your system with that outcome. Conscious, unconscious, and superconscious. Your unconscious stops resisting. your superconscious gets a clear signal to organize around. And suddenly, the external world starts shifting to match your internal state. This is why in my program, we help clients step into their future identity, the version of them that already has the results. Not to pretend, not to fake it, but to experience it now. They begin to think like that version, speak like them, make decisions from that place, not from their current limitations. Because here's the truth, that version of you already exists. It's alive in the superconscious. And when you tune into it, you shift structure at the core. It's like tuning a radio. The frequency of lack will never broadcast success. But when you shift to the frequency of already having it, you begin to attract thoughts, actions, and outcomes that reflect it. This isn't about delusion either. It's about design. When you live in the feeling of the end result, you teach your system, this is normal, this is safe, this is who I am now. And once your system sees it as true, it becomes inevitable. The seed already equals the forest. You don't have to force the tree to grow. You just have to align with the seed and let the structure do its job. So there you go, 5 powerful secrets to unlock your superconscious genius and create success effortlessly. But here's the deal, knowing these isn't enough, because your old structure will keep pulling you back until you actively step out of it. That's why I built Superconscious Awakening, a free community for ambitious creators who are ready to stop fixing and start creating. Inside, you will learn how to recode limiting beliefs that have secretly held you back, step into a new structure where success flows naturally, and tap into your intuition so you can make powerful choices and act from alignment. This is where everything changes, I promise you. Not because you're trying harder, but because finally you're working with yourself, not against yourself. So if you're done spinning your wheels and ready to create the life you actually want, click the link in the description, join the community, and let's make it happen.